Hey everybody, so I've done a little bit of addition since last time I shared with you guys, but essentially this is a representation of the 1,000 acres, and this would be as much of 1,000 acres as possible. So you got to imagine you're going to have in excess of about 950 acres would be right inside of that middle spot. And yeah, sometimes in the morning and shit, my hands get a little blotchy and stuff like that. I think it's my blood flow. I think the Suboxone also affects it, so it is what it is. So anyways, dealing with, back to the main point of the video is the 950 acres that are inside of the perimeter, the walled secure area. And inside this compound, there's going to be a lot of different things. One area could be an enhanced secured section already inside the secured perimeter, which could be used to allow an opportunity to house and offer work for inmates and immigrants. So let me go ahead and just read this. So again, once our perimeter walls are up and secure, we could have inmates, dangerous, violent peeps and such here as they'd be under professional supervision. Again, it's also with immigrants. Once here inside the walls, secure area, they'd be able to work on various good clean products, which is good for their good growth, which is also good for our economy, by the way, which is scientifically proven through epigenetics. Shout out to Dr. Bruce Lipton again. So just because again, what epigenetics tells us is that when we're around good things, our cells absorb those good things, allowing us to grow in a good way, because those cells then become more good. So just by working in and around nature, again, there's that study there in Switzerland, I believe, done by a doctor who found out that just by working with nature, in and around nature, like helping tend to flowers in the garden and stuff, literally helped cure people of schizophrenia. So, all right, moving on here. In and around nature, all will be healed. And especially, now when I say all will be healed, I think it's going to help out with everything. I don't have the scientific evidence for that, but I think in general, like the more work people do outside, the better everything in them's going to feel. The better their heart's going to be, the better their breathing's going to be, because they're going to be breathing in good air. The better their mind's going to be, because they're absorbing and breathing in all that good air, and they're seeing all this beautiful life around them, which is good for the visual, the sensual input, the visual input that comes in the senses, the way we feel from seeing beautiful nature. Is literally good for your healing and for your growth and for your mood. All right, especially if that work is going to help a good cause. Yes, again, so, all right, so I'll just read it. As this will enhance the good effects already accumulated from working in and around nature. And because ideally we'd also have a holistic healing area which is also part of the work that the inmates or the immigrants could work on too if they choose, which is also open to normal people as well. That'd be a separate area, or if they want to work with them, they could. Actually, I would encourage those that feel okay working around inmates and stuff like that to work around them, because just by them being around them is going to help the inmates grow. And because they're choosing to make that extra effort, which, let's be real, bro, you are around being closer, you're choosing to be in a close proximity to people that have been convicted and proven of doing potentially violent crimes, there should be a little bit of a pay increase for people whom are willing to put themselves in that type of a potentially dangerous situation, even though we're going to have all the guards, the professional guards, security, and all this and that. It's still dangerous. Shit can still happen, especially if you're out in a working place where you need to allow people to use their hands and stuff. It's still dangerous. And even though it's under the guise and all this good energy is here, people can still flip out. People can still have issues. People can still get angry and try to escape and do all sorts of shit. So there would need to be waivers signed by people that choose to volunteer to help out these dangerous inmates. But in them doing so, they would continue to enhance the inmates' good growth, because they'd be sharing their good energy just by being in the same proximity as them. All right, back here. All right, and because, healing area, holistic, we talked about that. That's also more work that they can do. All right, so yeah, again, it's for inmates, immigrants, and any and all who need help medicine will find holistic healing help here. And again, this is something we can offer to anybody and everybody at as affordable a price as possible. And I am very flexible and want to be flexible in dealing with anybody. Like, for people that don't have much money, we're going to work with what they got. Like, if you really need something for other things, then we will work with you and find the best price that you can get so that you get what you need. That is the ultimate goal, is to help heal these people, not to make a profit. So as long as we aren't continuing to perpetuate debt, and as long as there's different areas, we need to make sure that there's still enough resources to help out the kids in an adequate way. So I don't want to take too much money from one account that is designed to help out starving kids, I want to make sure that account has enough money to do what it needs to do and not run dry other, that account to help out another need. Does that make sense? Especially with the way that I'm designing this thing, there's going to be a good works program available for everybody. So anybody that's able to work, like has the physical capability to work, would be able to go and work for, like, let's say 1 or 2 hours, or maybe even 8 hours, and they can get paid that day for that work they did that day, which could allow them to go make some food or go to buy some food. All right, and then with enough abundance, I would love to have just free hemp bread, which what I've learned about the pizza industry, dough is really inexpensive to make. It doesn't really require much. It's very cheap, very, very, very cheap. So I don't think it's that hard to have an abundance of hemp bread with other nutrients mixed in there that could be available for anybody at an absolutely free price, if the amount of abundance is there to allow us to do that. Again, we have to make sure that we're taking care of the children, and they need a lot of help. So any type of an abundance we have really should be going to them. But we want to make sure that people here in America are being taken care of too. However, we also want to make sure we're not enabling bad behavior. So a lot of things to consider, but as long as we keep forth and keep the love guiding us in a scientific and good way, we should all be good. Because anytime anybody's tripping, this is what the program allows, is for that person who's tripping, everybody else, it's their good duty to intervene with that individual, and we all sit around and talk about it till we find a good conclusion. We use love as our guide to figure out what that conclusion may be. All right, moving on. Okay, so yeah, forgiven area, desk room. Remember, there are kids, again, starving to death overseas, and so we need to not expend too much resources as to leave us unable to help them as well. So each situation person should be weighed to find where help is needed the most. A starving kid should take precedence over a starving teenager. It is what it is, because you do gotta value things. But again, that doesn't mean I want to leave that teenager completely empty-handed. We're gonna do whatever we can to make sure he gets what he needs. But when it comes down to it, the starving kid should take precedence. That's just the most loving thing to do. It's not even really up to me. That is how I feel, but that's how I see love, and I don't even think you can dispute that, just because the child is less able to help themselves as opposed to a teenager. So from that standpoint, it's factual that they need more help than the teenager, unless that teenager has some type of other pre-existing ailment that makes him more unable than the starving child, which could happen. And that would be an exception, which would render different fucking circumstances to take care of that, to provide a good remedy for that situation, because it is an exception. So exceptions could be made for that particular situation. All right, moving on. All right, so however, some of the food intended for the kids, as I just said, as well as offer him good work opportunities, like I said, here and in Africa eventually, yes, because these good work programs and opportunities, that is going to be what helps grow back Africa and give them their own good society and infrastructure that's clean and in good harmony with everything that they can help perpetuate themselves. All right, which a good teenager, as long as they can could work at or make himself some money. Yeah, that's about the good work program. All right, I love you guys. Hope you have a good day. Thanks, bye.